So, Jeff Nippard is at it again, folks. So, Jeff has really discredited himself over the past few months with the whole Mike Israetel controversy. And also going back on everything he said about volume in the past. He ran a training program where he was on a cut and he did only 2 sets per exercise, and he found out that it worked really well for him. Well, guess what? Now Jeff is going completely in the other direction once again with preaching volume, and he has a new video out called How I Blew Up My Shoulders. And he renamed this video, I think, a few times. I think it was How I Made My Shoulders 3D. He had like a video like that before that actually starred Mike Israetel. But this time, he's giving some advice, and it's very contradictory throughout it. And he's preaching a lot of different exercises, a lot of different volume. And there's like one thing in this video that I have a big problem with. And he talks about doing your shoulders 3 times to 4 times a week and spreading that volume out.
The best way to get in more effective shoulder work isn't to throw more sets on top of the workouts you already do. It's to hit them more often.
And this is not part of a full body split, which I've done before, doing one, or 2 exercises. Like, he's actually saying, like, do like actual shoulder workouts, full shoulder workouts, like, and spread them out. And he even talks about how he did lateral raises 5 times a week. Like, every single day that he trained, he did lateral raises. This is like when Will Tennyson said that he did 100 lateral raises per shoulder workout. It's just, it's almost meaningless. Like, if you could do 100 lateral raises, like 100 reps on a lateral raise, like for a single set, it's time to just up the weight, basically. That's just kind of retarded after a while. So Jeff is just preaching this ridiculously high volume. Like, honestly, working, doing full, like, workouts for a body part more than 2 times a week is diminishing returns. Now, if you're a first timer here, I'm recently doing very low volume. I'm actually doing HIIT training, high intensity, my own version. It's basically more like Dorian Yates's blood and guts style of training, and I'm really loving it. And I'm really enjoying the gains. And I think, I haven't been on it that long. I've really been, this is like my 3rd or 4th week about on it, and I'm really enjoying it. I think that I'm getting a lot out of it, and I'm liking it more than what I was doing previously. And that's really the most important part of any training, that you're enjoying what you're doing. And Jeff is over here. Once again, I thought that the guy was coming around. I really liked the style of training he was doing. He was finally going to failure, on his exercises, instead and putting that, reps in reserve crap to bed finally. And I was happy to see it. Jeff was training hard. You could see in the video he was doing, he was really grinding it out. One of the things that I really despise what Jeff Nippard does, he bites down on like drawstrings and stuff like that, and he bites his shirt. This, the motherfucker is like, man, I don't know. Like, get something else to like bite on. You're biting on your clothes. I mean, he's got the money to blow, really, but it just looks really corny and cheesy. And it's also very odd that he does do that, like, biting stuff, and he's even admitted that he's keeping reps in reserve. I'm going all the way to failure and trying to go even beyond, and I don't have to bite anything. I'm not gnawing at my arm like when I'm doing like a squat. I mean, honestly, the stuff that he does, and it's like very, I don't know. You just don't trust Jeff. You just don't know what's performative. And the big thing about Jeff, it's like, look, I understand, I respect the hustle that Jeff is just trying to make coin, that he's just trying to make some money, that he's just trying to sell his programs. And that's all fine and well. But the thing is, sell your programs and everything, but you can't keep changing them. And the thing is, it's not like you're selling programs to certain people. It's just like, hey, try this training style. Just try this training style. Do full body. Do push-pull legs. Do all these different programs. And and the problem is with that is that some of them are extremely high volume and some of them are lower volume. I've looked at some of these things and it's like, what is the science behind it? I've even, I actually got inspired by Jeff to do a full body split. And I think I got some pretty good returns from it. But the thing is, if you look at his particular full body split, the reps and the sets were all over the place. And I just think that, Jeff pulls a lot of these numbers out of his ass. And that's especially true when you're looking at his shoulder video. Because where is he getting this from? Where is he getting that doing all this extra work on your shoulders? I mean, he does say that you get diminishing returns after a while by doing too many sets per workout. So he's saying to spread that work out, which I think is good advice. But telling people to do up to 4 fucking shoulder workouts, and this is also the real clincher, where I have to say that this whole video is bullshit. He actually says that your shoulders, now, okay, they can take a lot of punishment because when you add everything up and you add up all 3 heads, you really do, have a lot of mass here. And, about them recovering quickly, that's very debatable. There is a lot to work with. Like, I feel like, yeah, there is some science to the shoulders being able to take more punishment. But he says, when have your shoulders last felt sore? And Jeff says that his have never felt sore.
But from my coaching experience, your shoulders do recover pretty quickly. They almost never get sore. Like, do you remember the last time your shoulders actually got sore?
And there's something very suspicious about that. I've seen videos of him maxing out shoulder press machines. So the guy has some pretty good shoulders. I mean, look at him. I mean, he's got a good physique. Me and Jeff are like the same height. That's why, I'm very disappointed in Jeff. Because, I'm a fellow 5'5"er. And, damn. The motherfucker like really let me down. The manlet let me down. A fellow manlet let me down. Go figure. But the thing is about Jeff saying that his shoulders never burned. What? Let me tell you something. I'm doing this video and it's a Tuesday. Yesterday on Monday, usually, yeah, they would say with like HIIT, don't do back-to-back workout days, but this is what fits my schedule, so I do back-to-back workouts, but here's the thing. So I actually did my shoulders yesterday, and my exercises on yesterday, what they consisted of was face pulls, lateral raises, and the shoulder press machine. And okay, so I did my normal thing. I do one set, 50% of the weight. The next set is 75 to 70% roughly around there, 3/4 of the weight approximately, and then go all in for the third set. Completely to failure, and that's my hard set, full weight, the maximum weight, where I could get a good rep range of around 6 to 10. And usually I will pick the weight, and I've been doing some strength increases. Like, shit has gone up. Not so, and yes, I actually have added like more to the incline chest press machine. I've gone up exponentially. Shoulders, still a work in progress, but we're getting there. Like I said, I just started this style of train. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that after I did that, and I did that to failure training, that high intensity, and I did my lateral raises, and I'm trying to fight it static hold style, and and it felt great, and I felt the burn. And let me tell you something. After the face pulls and after the lateral raises, and then after that, I went over and I did the shoulder press, and I did that like last, and I'm working my back, chest, and shoulders. Those are all being worked together yesterday, the first day of the split, you can consider it. And let me tell you something. My shoulder, like right here, the side delt, it was burning. It was like very difficult to do that shoulder press machine. So I'm getting sore during the fucking workout because I don't know what it is, but Jeff is, the guy's impressive, and I'm not going to act like I've got a better physique than Jeff. I don't really, I'm not claiming that at all. I think I've got a pretty decent physique, I would say, especially, the arms of the strong suit, obviously, but I have to say, because people go, oh, where's your build? Where's your build? You're sitting down and everything, So, but the thing is, something is weird here with Jeff because I don't know. He's getting the gains. He's doing something right. I'm not accusing the guy of being on anything because I don't think he looks like he is, obviously. You don't see any veins. You're not really questioning the natty status. But something is very wrong here. Jeff should be feeling a burn. He should be feeling a lot of discomfort when he's doing his shoulder workouts. And the fact that he was saying that he'd never gotten sore from a shoulder workout is very, very concerning. And it kind of points that you probably really shouldn't be following this guy's advice. Because if he's making like it's a piece of cake, there's something very, very troublesome about his advice. So I'm just saying, guys, this video seemed a bit absurd, especially coming right off the heels of a pretty good video with him doing the 2 sets to all out failure. I mean, it was good stuff, the low volume approach, but he was just doing his normal salesman routine, basically. He's just trying to sell you in a new program. Now it's back to the volume, guys. Back to the volume, back to reality, basically, right? It's just like that song, the times of low volume Jeff are short-lived. It's back to Jeff changes his mind every 2 seconds, and now he's talking about the importance of front delts. That's another thing he was saying. After talking about the front delts getting overtrained, not needing as much work, because he doesn't really talk too much about overtraining per se, and he really should, because there's a lot of science behind that as well. But, a lot of these science guys don't really talk about overtraining. It's all about, they're big volume guys. Mike Israetel, Jeff Nippard. So, all of a sudden now it's back to the front delts. Front delts are important again, guys. Work out your front delts because that's why your shoulders are lagging. Every single time, Jeff comes out and everybody praises him in the comments, oh, this guy's a miracle worker. He's dropping the video. Now I'm going to get big shoulders. Let me tell you something. If you don't have, good shoulders, I don't think it's because you're not working them out every single fucking day, that you're not doing lateral raises 5 times a week. No, It's probably the pre-existing exercise you're doing. If you push them harder and you did do it to failure, and actually use like the training split that Jeff showed in the low volume video, then you probably would see some results. So this is why this is complete bullshit. So that's about it. That's all I got to say for this one. Very disappointing video from Jeff Nippard, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Did you like his advice, or did you think it was a load of bunk like I did? So guys, please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bells to get all the notifications when I post all my new videos. I want to thank all my subscribers for your continued support. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.